it is the wrong way. So,
well, yesterday my friend sent me this video along with the extension. So I want to try this one, and as well as the title of this video is something really kind of draw my attention. I feel like it is exactly something that I've been looking for a while, and I just didn't really do a proper research, and I believe like this kind of video provide a good content, like they are qualified enough. And I heard that I don't know how to call this one, Geoffrey Hinton, maybe Geoffrey Hinton. He's a Godfather of AI. So I think okay, that the good one that I should watch, and I decided to start watching these videos as a way to warm up and learning English as well. I turn on I use extension to kind of like have the bilingual subtitle here, and I don't know, like for some reason it show here the transcript as well. I mean it's good anyway. Yeah, I'll keep it because it's good for me to learn English. And I'm gonna, this one, let's close it up. I still have coding problem, but I'll get back to it later. I decided to start my day with this one first because it fits my curiosity. It fits my curiosity, and at the same time I can sit in the bed and do some yoga to warm up my day. I woke up a little bit late today, and no excuse, but yeah, now it's like 9 a.m. already. So I'm gonna open another link called English Body, my website, to what the heck is going on. Okay, whenever. So let's do, maybe I'll open like one by one so I can search for this. No need. Okay.
in fact, I think I made the first neural net language model.
It's 45 minutes. I
In
watched some
England, in a
yesterday.
research unit, it would get to be 6 o'clock and you'd all go for a drink in the pub. At Carnegie Mellon, I remember after I'd been there a few weeks, it was Saturday night. I didn't have any friends yet, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided I'd go into the lab and do some programming, because I had a Lisp machine and you couldn't program it from home. So I went into the lab at about 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, and it was swarming. All the students were there. And
Swarming? Chất kiến người swarming. Yeah. Oh, it was swarming. It's like a phrase. I think so.
And it was swarming. All the students were there. And they were all there because what they were working on was the future. They all believed that what they did next was going to change the course of computer science. And it was just so different from England. And so that was... very refreshing.
Take me back to the very beginning. Jeff at Cambridge, trying to understand the brain. What was that like?
It was very disappointing. So I did physiology. And in the summer term, they were going to teach us how the brain worked. And all they taught us was how neurons conduct action potentials, which was very interesting, but it doesn't tell you how... All they taught us was how neurons conduct action potentials, which was very interesting, but it doesn't tell you how the brain works. So that was extremely disappointing. I switched to philosophy then. I thought maybe they'd tell us how the mind worked, and that was very disappointing. I eventually ended up going to Edinburgh to do AI, and that was more interesting. At least you could simulate things, so you could test out theories.
And did you remember what
theories.
intrigued you?
Calculate things, so you could test out theories.
And did you remember what intrigued you about AI? Was it a paper? Was it any particular?
I saw the word interest here quite a lot. I'm gonna just save it here. N-G-U-R, if I'm not mistaken. Interest you. Yeah, it's like so intrigue or intrigue. Intrigue is like noun. Intrigue. Intrigue is verb. It's basically like I think it's similar to trigger in another way, I would say.
Person that exposed you to those ideas?
I guess it was a book I read by Donald Hebb that influenced me a lot. He was very interested in how you learn the connection strengths in neural nets. I also read a book by John von Neumann early on, who was very interested in how the brain computes and how it's different from normal computers.
And did you get that conviction that these ideas would work out at that point? Or what was your intuition back at the Edinburgh days?
It seemed to me there has to be a way that the brain learns, and it's clearly not by having all sorts of things programmed into it and then using logical rules of inference. That just seemed to me crazy from the end into it, and then using logical rules of inference. That just seemed to me crazy for programmed into it.
Logical rule of inference translated into inference. Something's programmed into it and then using logical rule of inference. Inference lah. What is inference in this game? I mean, I can just learn with AI, but I decided today I'm gonna just deep it myself instead of asking AI. Whenever I ask AI, like one thing will lead to the other, and it just takes a lot of time. So I'm gonna save everything in this website, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna review in word review here. So that's the way I'm about to do. So we are learning the inference. Oh, Sri Lanka, I didn't know it. I saw there was some time a lot. So the structure is not really difficult sort of things programmed into it. This is a passive tense, like combine the sentence sort of things programmed into it, and then using logical rules of inference. Yep, I gotcha.
And then using logical rules of inference. That just seemed to me crazy from the outset.
That just seemed to me crazy from the outset. Seemed to me crazy. Oh, okay, I learned this. This is very simple, but that is very, I think it's very kind of powerful as well. That just seemed to me something that affects you in a certain way. Seemed to me crazy. So after it, we're gonna add adjective from the outset. Outset is from the beginning. I didn't know the word outset to be honest. I'll save it here as well. Outset. Second.
So we had to figure out how the brain learned to modify connections in a neural net so that it could do complicated. How the brain.
So the brain learned to modify connections. The brain learned to modify connection in a neural net. So it could do complicated. Maybe after that will be tasks or something. Oh my goodness! When I read the sentence again at first, the way he says things very simple. The brain needs to modify connections in a neural net so that it could do neural net. It's like neural, not neutral. Like when I learn biology in Vietnamese, we call neuron, but here it called neuro is like adjective. I know. Let me find neuro. Let's see the noun of it. Neuro. So adjective would be I think I saw it somewhere. Neuro. I just saw the word and I forgot how to pronounce. See? Problem. Neuro. So now it would be neuron. Neuron. The extension is bad. Neuron. So it's similar the way we learn in Vietnamese neuron, so we call neuron. Okay. And here is neuro. And over here, neural.
Learned to modify connections in a neural net so that it could do complicated things. And von Neumann believed that, Turing believed that. So von Neumann and Turing were both pretty good at logic, but they didn't believe in this logical approach.
And what was your split between studying the ideas from neuroscience and just doing what seemed to be good algorithms for AI? And just doing what seemed to be good algorithms for AI. How much inspiration did you take early on?
So I never did that much study of neuroscience. I was always inspired by what I'd learned about how the brain works. That there's a bunch of neurons. They perform relatively simple operations. They're non-linear, but they collect inputs, they weight them, and then they give an output that depends on that weighted input. And the question is, how do you change those weights to make the whole thing do something good? It seems like a fairly simple. And the question is, how do you change those weights to make the whole
thing to do something good? Oh my goodness, he's genius. So he found out the principle is very simple. A bunch of neurons, they will just do like simple operations by collecting inputs and then weigh all those inputs and then give the output based on the weighted input. So that the principle that made him know how we can train the ways to make the whole thing do something good. Oh my goodness. It seemed like
do something good. It seems like a fairly simple question.
What collaborations do you remember from that time?
The main collaboration I had at Carnegie Mellon was with someone who wasn't at Carnegie Mellon. I was interacting a lot with Terry Sinofsky, who was in Baltimore at Johns Hopkins. And about once a month, either he would drive to Pittsburgh or I would drive to Baltimore. It's 250 miles away. And we would spend a weekend together working on Baltimore machines. That was a wonderful collaboration. We were both convinced it was how the brain worked. That was the most exciting research I've ever done. And a lot of technical results came out that were very interesting. but I think it's not how the brain works. I also had a very good collaboration with Peter Brown, who was a very good statistician, and he worked on speech recognition at IBM.
Okay,
Brown.
it's a simple word, but I just want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. He's a very good statistician. So the syllable should be on the third one. Syllable should be the third one. Statistician. For syllable, statistician. Statistician. And he works on speech recognition at IBM. Oh, this guy is huge as well. Statistician. I hate the statistic in math when I was in high school. No, university. So I believe that like statistician is a smart one. Is a smart guy.
Who was a very good statistician, and he worked on speech recognition at IBM. And then he came as a more mature student to Carnegie Mellon just to get a PhD, but he already knew a lot. He taught me a lot about speech, and he in fact taught me about hidden Markov models. I think I learned more from him than he learned from me. That's the kind of student you want. And when he taught me about hidden Markov from me, that's the kind of student you want. And when he taught me about hidden Markov models, I was doing backprop with hidden layers, only they weren't called hidden layers then. And I decided that name they use in hidden Markov models is a great name for variables that you don't know what they're up to. And so that's where the name hidden in neural nets came from. Me and Peter decided that was a great name for the hidden layers in neural nets.
So the keyword here is a hidden layers in neural nets, where we need to figure it out how it can help the brain to use those layers and to raise the input and to give the good outputs. Is it correct? Let's keep going. Hidden layers in neural nets. Let's just remember this keyword.
But I learned a lot from Peter about speech.
Take us back to when Ilya showed up at your office.
I was in my office, probably on a Sunday, and I was programming, I think, and there was a knock on the door. Not just any knock, but it went kind of a sort of an urgent knock. So I went and answered the door, and this was this young student there. And he said he was cooking fries over the summer, but he'd rather be working in my lab. And so I said...
He said he was cooking fries over the summer, but he'd rather be working in my lab. Is this like kind of cultural joke? He was cooking fries over the summer, but he's... I just want to learn this one. Is this the culture? I'm gonna show all of those stuff. Let's see. Let's see here. I still like Claude code because now Claude is because he understands me so well. So I'm gonna paste this here. I got recommended by my friend this video, and I like the title. That's why I want to start my morning by watching this video to learn English and to gain some insight as well, because that is exactly what I'm curious about, the potential as well as the risks of AI. And also I heard about this man. He's a godfather of AI, right? While learning this, I got some insight for myself already, but sometimes I am not sure about the meaning of the sentence. For example, this sentence where I show you in the screen, which I show you in the screen, I'm not sure, is this like a cultural jokes when someone wants to discuss about something? I believe I mean, it's a little bit of jokes, I guess, not jokes. Okay, again. Let's see. Yeah, here he's understand me with jokes. Anyway, go ahead. So, but the problem is that because Claude is, I don't know, it always takes time for it to give me the answer. I think it's maybe a lot slower than Gemini or ChatGPT, but I still like it more because I like the answer it gave me. A few small language notes before we get your question. Before we get to your question is a way. Before I get to your question, before I guess to your concern, okay. Sometimes should be sometimes with as a cultural jokes, a cultural because it's a cultural joke. Someone wants to discuss a bit of a joke, a bit, not a little bit, a bit of a joke, a kind of a joke. Okay, so where he was cooking fries over summer, cultural joke with him. No, it's not a joke. Here's the picture. Oh, mentioning his part-time job. He was working a part-time job at frying food, like fast food place, McDonald's style, that was cooking fries, mean literally try frying potatoes for a job. Hinton is just describing Ira's actual situation at the time, a student with a summer job to set up the contrast. He had a job but really wanted to work with Hinton AI lab. Instead, the humor is just in how ordinary and unglamorous cooking fries sounds compared to what Aya became later one of the most influential AI researchers in the world. Wow! So something great can start with just a very normal person, a student who have part-time job. Great. But I know that for sure this guy has potential, and he has the ambition that he has to, knock the door urgently just to show that he wants to work with this professor. I believe that contrast is what makes the story charming, not a hidden joke in the sentence itself. Lovely. Because I didn't have any kind of specific reason to make me think it a joke. I just didn't know the actual context of all the characters mentioned in this interview. Just right after you mentioned he is a student and he just want to work with this professor in this lab. I guess he has ambition and huge potential, and he just didn't have the opportunity to do it. So I guess just the reason because I lack of context, I have no idea about like all the characters in these videos. In this video, not videos. Video, no. Yeah, okay. You understand me. Reason, to make either one a joke, I think. Oh, yep. Whatever. You already have. Skip it. It's just because I am speaking. He has ambition and he had and potential. Okay. I didn't mean so, but I don't know why when I say it became like this. Anyway, he has ambition and potential. My story is strange, sounding detailed, cooking, reading as ambiguous, could be literal, could be a joke, could be a cultural reference. Yeah, I think the right word that I meant is cultural reference, not cultural joke. I don't mean it's like joke with a reference. What is very reasonable read when you're missing context, not a mistake in your thinking. For context now, Geoffrey is one of the most important researchers in modern AI. He co-created AlexNet, a breakthrough that helped kick off the deep learning boom. As Hinton's student, later co-founder of OpenAI. Oh really? And was a key figure behind GPT. So the story Hinton tells is a kid frying potato for summer job knocks on his office door, and a few years later becomes one of the most AI scientists alive. That's why the story gets told, not because cooking fries is a job, but because the contrast between unknown fry cook and code and future AI legend is what make it a good story. Tolerate post. It removes a lot of ambiguity in your tone. Okay, so how about this idea? Because now you know that I want whatever I learn something on YouTube, right? I also want to learn English. I also want to get insights from the videos and get inspired from the people mentioned in that videos as well. But instead of me searching on Google, I want to pass this to you, and then you want to share with me the insights about that person, the context behind, or the backstory, whatever you think is might be useful for me. And don't forget to ask me a critical thinking at the end of your answer. And also don't forget the meaning, I mean the purpose of learning English as well. So keep correcting me whenever I make mistake, okay? Oh, little do I feel very hungry now because 9:33 a.m. already. What should I cook for dinner? My husband gonna be home pretty soon, so I think I should cook for him. He's very hungry as well. Get inspired from people mentioned in the video. In those videos, share the insight with me. I didn't say so. Did I say so? I want you to share. Maybe I said I want you to share the insight. Share with me. Oh, I got it. It just try to pick up a kind of like small parts of my speaking, and sometimes due to lacking context, then it understood me wrongly. But anyway, I don't mind. I makes a mistake, or yeah, I do agree that I should ask before mistake. Oh shit, I asked critical thinking. It understand. I didn't check this one. I said critical thinking at the end of your answer. I don't know why. Okay. I okay. Easy morning, happy morning. Don't get irritated by this small thing. AI helped me a lot already. Okay. You bring me a moment from a video. I give you a backstory context on the people, event, or idea mentioned, the stuff that isn't obvious with background knowledge. Without background knowledge, I ask you a question that pushes you to think, not just receive information. Practice step 3, which you see very he says his reaction to it. I understood the paper. I just don't understand why you wouldn't give the gradient to a sensible function optimizer. Okay, good thing is that after I ask Claude, it save it in the memory. I hope he remember next time. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back to it and ask him for the prompt, and I will ask into the account setting level. No, project, no. I think let's set in the instruction of the account setting. So let me answer this question. I'm sorry, I was jotting just in the morning. Well, through his reaction, I think like yes, he is someone with good raw intuition. He is just, I don't know, but I feel like he is someone who is a little bit stubborn, maybe somehow like me, who have the idea and who just want to understand why we don't do it, or why the professor do it this way but not the other way, for example. And he is just so straightforward. He question if anything he feel he might not agree, or he want to discuss further, or something he have in mind, he has in mind. So the next question you asked me, how would you know if you have it in something even before you have proof? I don't know. I just think it is an intuition, and whatever we have something in mind, just ask question around it, and just give it a try, experiment it. Why not, right? Why not try? I said why not, right? I'll have a look quickly into my about his reaction. Okay, I'll give Scoop King right now.